Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back. You won't ever guess where we are. We're back in the gardens. Today I just wanted to share with y'all. Hang on, I want to show y'all something. I don't know if you can see that way over there. See that deer? There's deer everywhere down here. Andy, I bet you didn't see it either, did you?
But I do now.
I don't see it.
I think it ran in the woods. But anyways, that's how the deer population is down here. Just everywhere. But so I want to share with y'all today some old news for most folks, but new news to us. Not new news. We just decided to try it this year. I know you've heard me talk about it in other videos. This old wet hay we had. We put it around our tomatoes. Best thing we ever done. So now we're down here today, and we're going to put it around our crowder peas and green beans that we've got planted down here, because the tomatoes have just done amazing with it. Not having to hoe them, not having to plow them. It has been just the best thing we ever did. Best thing we ever did. Now the key to doing this right here, the way that we're doing it is it's got to be thick. It's got to be thick enough that the grass that's trying to grow underneath of it, or the weeds, cannot get through. And plus, once it rains on this, it's going to pack it down a little bit. So, I mean, I am throwing it to it. But we've read about mulching gardens. We've known people do this. You know, we've just never personally tried it ourselves until this year. And what made us originally try it was the gardens got so wet we couldn't get in them with our tractor. And plus we were staking up those tomatoes. We weren't going to be able to get in them with a tractor. So we decided to give it a try. Best thing we ever did. And it doesn't matter if you're planting a huge spot like this. Well, I call it huge. It's huge for us around here. It don't matter if you're planting a big spot, little spot, whatever. I recommend it. Whether it be hay, whether it be straw, newspaper, some kind of something to smother out those weeds.
See, all like she said, we're putting this stuff down pretty daggone thick. And you really, some of you might be wondering, if you're going to plant this much stuff, why not use a plastic layer, or like a plastic mulch layer, like a lot of produce guys do? And it's crossed my mind. And our county actually has one that we can rent. But there's a couple issues with that I see. Now this is a lot of work. That plastic mulch layer, you go right down through here, be done with it in no time with a tractor. And then you plant into it. But for one, to me it just looks like a ton of plastic that you're wasting. And two, using this here hay is going to help our land out in the long run. This will rot down, it'll decay. It'll help build the soil up down here. And so to me it just kind of seems like a win-win. But a lot of the benefits of this mulching is not only does it keep the weeds down, but this is going to keep our produce that we pick off of it clean. You can see on these bottom leaves, we've had a couple of hard rains lately. You see how dirty those bottom leaves are? Well, not only is that's not good. It's probably not gonna hurt anything, but you don't want dirt beating up on your leaves, because that'll cause fungus and diseases and all that kind of stuff, and you just don't want that. And plus, who wants to come down here and pick cucumbers that look like that, and you got to take them back to the house and wash them before you can eat them? If I'm gonna pick a cucumber, just pick one straight off the vine, and it'll be, maybe wipe it off with your shirt. Same thing for these crowder peas and these green beans. If we left this without any mulch, and we've done it this way forever. We've always done it this way. Without the mulch, I mean. But our green beans in a field like this, our green beans will be covered in dirt if you have a hard rain right before they're ready to pick. That dirt just bounces back up and gets all over those beans. So I'm hoping that we don't have that issue, because I've not seen the first bit of dirt splashed back up onto these tomatoes. And so I'm hoping everything turns out real good here. It does take a lot of hay. That's one of the downsides to it, is like next year I'm probably not going to have enough hay to do this again. So I've been thinking about that because we're going to use so much of it this year. And, you know, hopefully next year my hay don't get rained on and we don't have to worry about having some hay that we don't want to use to feed anyways. But this is definitely something good to do with the hay that we had. And it's kind of like a little test run for us. So far, we've been extremely pleased with it, y'all.
Let's see your fancy bracelet.
Can you teach me how to do it? Daddy, now you made your own bracelet out of hay.
Y'all, I'm going to give you a quick tip right here that's got nothing to do with our garden. But something Daddy always taught me and kind of forced into my head all my life. When you're getting ready to cut the strings off of a square bale, go to the knot. Cut off at the end of that knot right there. And the reason for that, so you can tell I came from a family who liked to use everything. If you need a piece of string, you've got it right there and your knots are at the very end. If you don't need those knots, you just snip them off and you hadn't wasted any of your string. So that's just a little quick tip.
What'd you make?
Well, this is a thing that you used to like fire and it would stay with you all the time because it got a little hanger thing made of hay and string
and one other benefit to this is, well, you can see right here what we've got left. We'll just come back down here after supper. We'll run back to the house and get some more. But one other benefit is we're done with it. Like, this is it. We won't have to do anything else except come down here and stake up the crowder peas and basically just do a walkthrough of it. I'm not going to have to come down here and cultivate these 3 rows no more. They're done. So that's a big benefit, especially as high as gas is now. And that old tractor of mine, it's a gas tractor and it ain't good on gas. So, you know, the less work you have to do with it, the more money you save. We ain't out nothing. This is just hay that we were going to throw away anyways. So that's it, folks. I think we're about done.
All right, so we've been down here about an hour and we have done 3 rows. We liked a little bit on the very last row. We need about 2 more bales of hay. But we'll finish that up when we go back to the house. But just wanted to show you this today. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a little something. I'll walk through here. I'm going to show you my tomato plants real quick before we end it. And anyways, I'll talk to y'all next time. One last time, this is exactly why we did what we did today. We did this about a month or longer ago. Through these tomatoes, hadn't done nothing but keep them tied up. Just a hair grass here and there, nothing we can't pull up by hand. And these sure are some pretty plants.